Par exemple, le Teen Screen, ce soi-disant programme de prévention du suicide, permet de faire des tests de santé mentale sur des élèves afin d'établir un diagnostic et de leur administrer des psychotropes. Des adolescents normaux, comme Chelsea Rhodes, se rendent un jour à l'école et rentrent chez eux étiquetés malades mentaux.
The Rhodes family in Indiana, their young girl went to school one day, and all of a sudden they told her they were taking her into her room, and they move her into her room and give her the 10-minute teen screen test. And shortly after taking the test, she's pulled aside in the hallway and she's told she has two problems, basically two mental problems. One, obsessive compulsive disorder, and social anxiety disorder.
Her parents were stunned, dumbfounded. They didn't know the teen screen was going to screen their child. They had not been asked permission.
People at school had told her that she was mentally ill with these two conditions based off of a computer test that took her 10 minutes to answer. One of the questions was worded if Chelsea went out a lot. She answered no. We'd ask her why she answered that way. She said, because Mom, you and Dad don't allow us to go out on school nights. I have to be home to do my homework and take care of our household chores. The other question was, do you ever feel nervous or anxious when you're in front of a group of your friends or peers? Chelsea answered yes. She explained to us that because when she has to stand up in front of a group of people and give a book report in one of her classes, she's very nervous. You know, I'm 43 years old and I'm nervous in front of every one of you today, but that doesn't make me mentally ill.
I absolutely believe that the survey for Teen Screen was intentionally structured to flag as many children as possible as having a possible mental health problem.
Et qui a inventé le Teen Screen et le test qui s'y rattache? Le docteur David Schaffer, un psychiatre largement payé par l'industrie pharmaceutique. Le questionnaire de Schaffer n'a rien de scientifique. Dans une étude qu'il a lui-même conduite, Schaffer a admis que 84% des élèves avaient été faussement classifiés comme suicidaires. Mais il n'a pas admis les conséquences désastreuses que cela a pu avoir. Alia Gleason n'avait que 11 ans quand elle a fait un test de dépistage dans son collège au Texas.
It was 7th grade, and they had all the girls go into the cafeteria because they said that a lot of girls have depression, so they was working on some depression screen.
Next thing I know, there's those middle schools tell my husband now that CPS is there at the school, taking Alea because she's suicidal.
I'm like, suicide? I'm not trying to kill myself. I love myself. I've always loved myself.
So I don't know if she was eating at the school or they'd already taken her away.
When they took Alea, my girls and I, we didn't sleep for about a good 3 days. For the first 3 days, because my house was empty without her.
And they was making me sign papers talking about if you don't take these medicines, you can't see your parents. So they was telling me, you know, if you take your medicine, you can see your parents.
My daughter was on 22 different types of medication that this one psychiatrist gave her.
They drugged me up so bad that they said they had to drag me. And I used to wonder how I got to my room.
When I saw for myself what they were giving her and how much and how often, I just thought, they're gonna kill this child. And the parents were helpless.
Then after a while, that's when I was just like, I'm not about to take no more medicine until I call my parents. And then that's when they was like, okay, well, we're gonna give it to you anyways. They restrained me and shot me up. I was in 4 points. They laid me out on my stomach with my feet like this and tied me up.
One day, they must have put her in about 12 restraints in one day.
They said I was restrained about 70 or 80 times. After a couple of months, they was like, you know, your parents don't want to see you. They don't want to talk to you or anything. So I was really hurt.
We tried everything. Nobody know. We didn't know what hospital. We didn't even know where they taking her.
After 2 weeks, you're supposed to hear, or you're supposed to be able to see your child. They didn't give me that. I didn't see Alea till 6 months later.
But I was a good child. I didn't deserve for that. And it messed up a lot of things. To this day, I still wish that I could just go back and be like, man, you know what, I'm not even gonna take the test.
I would always tell every parent I see, and they was asking me, don't do the team screening. because it will mess up your family.
Les programmes de dépistage des troubles mentaux tels que celui-ci sont à la mode. Dans le cadre du programme de dépistage Teen Screen, des tests de dépistage ont été effectués auprès de centaines de milliers d'écoliers dans 500 écoles de 43 États américains.
Has nothing to do with helping kids, has nothing to do with mental health, has nothing to do with medicine. It has everything to do with the pushing of drugs.
So it presents itself as being a wonderful, altruistic program, whereas in fact, I believe its cold-blooded and cold-hearted intent is to recruit more children into the very subjective diagnoses of mental illness and to treat those kids with medication.
Mais la prise forcée de psychotropes ne se limite pas aux salles de classe. Une nouvelle loi vient d'être votée pour faire passer des tests payants de dépistage des maladies mentales à tous les citoyens, y compris les personnes âgées, les anciens combattants et les femmes enceintes.
Psychiatrists benefit from both ends, from the pharmaceutical end for being paid to write the prescription, and then from the patient for being there to receive the prescription.
It's an industry that cannot allow the human condition to go unmedicated, and I think this is where the problem begins.
If everybody considers themselves to be sick in some way or more than one way, and that the only control, the only hope for their happiness is to be on pills for the rest of their lives, that's the goal.
The pharmaceuticals and the psychiatric community are in a cleanup, and that's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with helping our kids or, their mental health. It's all about money.
Aujourd'hui, les firmes pharmaceutiques dépensent plus de 5,3 milliards de dollars par an pour le marketing des psychotropes, presque 9 fois plus qu'il y a 10 ans. Résultat, les ventes mondiales de psychotropes ont atteint 80 milliards de dollars. Pendant ce temps, les psychiatres refusent de considérer l'étendue des tragédies qu'ils laissent dans leur sillage.
I'm 10 years old. I'm going to read, I think, the side effects of a drug called Daytriana.
The drug Adderall.
Luvox.
Cymbalta.
Geodon.
Lexapro.
Namenda.
I have a question.
Where do I find the side effects?
How do I read it if it's so small?
Just a bunch of letters squished together.
I can't read this. This is the side effects of the drug.
Side effects. Stroke.
What the heck?
Speech disorder.
Eye disorders, vision blurred.
Dry mouth. Nervous.
Tremor. Dizziness.
Delirium and coma.
Tardive dyskinesia.
They experience worsening of their depression.
Aggressive reaction.
Paranoid reaction. Psychosis.
Serious cardiovascular events.
Other serious heart problems.
Heart failure.
What? Suicidal thoughts. Suicidal thinking and behavior.
Increases the risk of suicide.
An increased risk of death.
Sudden death.
These guys must be kidding.
Wow. This is a guess.
Seeing this on a warning label, does anybody have any clue what they're putting their kids into?
This isn't good.